we'll just.
Welcome to the Weasel. Welcome to the Weasel. Whip out your dicks and shove them in your ass. Welcome to the Weasel with Mike and Jonah.
Good morning, Jonah. Hello to you. Hello, dude.
Hey man, how you doing?
Fucking top notch, bro. How are you doing today? This
Bad.
fine day. Bad. Why?
Yeah, no, I'm doing bad. But
What do
I
you feel
have, and this is something different for the listeners. We have booze again.
Hey, tequila.
It's been a couple months without booze. And you know, the podcast was different
It was
without booze.
Yeah. Yeah, it was different. It was slower. Much well. I don't know. Was it more thought out? I don't know. I felt like we flowed pretty good on those podcasts without the booze.
I think so too. I think it just and this is I almost don't even like saying this because I feel like it emits some kind of like fault in myself. But there's like a wildness that I think just booze gives you, you know. And if you're trying to run a podcast and you're trying to, you know, say fucking funny, interesting shit, you want a bit of a wild undertone going on, dude. A little fucking glint in your eye, you know.
You want to feel wild. You want to say some wild things. You want to go where the wild things are. Is that what you want? You want to get wild on this podcast?
Do I?
Yeah, we totally can, dude. We totally can. We can just get stupid fucking wild on this podcast. We can start taking our shirts off. We can start
You're right.
wearing
We could.
sunglasses indoors.
We'd do that.
We could get a dartboard with Hillary Clinton's face on it.
Okay. That's pretty wild.
That's pretty wild, right? Is that wild?
I don't know, dude. Is it? I feel like we're gonna, you know, lose a main demographic. I feel like we have to like split it up in half. We gotta do half Trump's face, half Hillary's face. Do people give a fuck about Hillary anymore?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't. Why are we even talking about Hillary?
Anybody cares. Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about Hillary. Well, that's why she's perfect to put on a dartboard, right? Because who could give a shit? But it's not really wild either, is it? It's not saying anything because the person who's on the dartboard is just not even in the zeitgeist anymore. Kind of farted off stage.
Yeah, somehow Trump still is, dude, and like it's like officially reached a point of maybe officially it was a while back, but for me I'm just kind of surprised. I'm like, how the fuck are these dudes still alive? I thought this whole thing would kill them both by now.
Right. I mean, it's definitely aged them quite a bit. I don't know if you've watched any of Joe Biden's recent press conferences or anything, but man, the dude is just lost, bro. He's fucking out there, man. He's not on this plane of existence anymore. It's like when a grandparent or a loved one has really bad dementia, you know? It's like, oh, well, we can't take Uncle fucking Ricky out to the fucking grocery store anymore because every time he passes the cans and bottle fucking counting stations, he starts fucking freaking out and thinks he's back in Vietnam kind of shit. It's like, do you know where you are? Do you know what year it is? Do you know your name? Are like three very important questions that I think we need to ask each other when we're out and about in public, or ask yourself, you know, just to make sure you're like at least got two of those three right. And I don't think he can answer any of those.
I've heard that, and like that's kind of what gets repeated, you know, a lot now. But actual like I don't follow politics very much. Like just every once in a while, I'm like, what's going on? He fell. Okay. And then it's like, what's going on? Trump's indicted for something.
Right.
His house is worth how much money? And then I go, and then I zone out again. And I do that very intentionally, but it also makes me pretty unknowledgeable about the actual condition of our president and candidates.
Right.
But I hear it's not good. But I'm sure he's probably more okay, dude. You can talk to an old guy, like you can talk to an old guy. He makes sense most of the time.
Right.
That's pretty good.
I mean, that's pretty good in like as an old guy, maybe who's retired, an old guy who's not got a lot going on, watching reruns of fucking, I don't know, MASH, right? On fucking Boomerang or whatever the fucking station equivalent is, and fucking drinking goddamn Folgers black coffee with fucking Oreos. That's great for that guy who's sitting there with his fucking slippered feet up on his footrest and maybe got a cat or a dog that's laying in the corner of the house, maybe dead, been laying there a couple of days, not sure. Doesn't matter. It's great for that guy. But that guy is not put in a position where he has to either make decisions, if that's what we believe he's doing, for the entirety of the country, or at the very least representing the entire country to the rest of the world.
Yeah, you make a good point. But dude, I don't think anybody is in charge of this shit, dude. I think we got a runaway ship, man. I think people are like, oh, the fucking deep state, they got the shit covered. I'm like, do they? I don't think anything. Like, if the deep state is actually a thing, and I believe that it is, then it's filled up with human beings. And human beings are self-serving, especially once you get to, deep state level of, like, I'm pulling the levers of society.
Yeah.
I think getting all those people on a team to cooperate together is not going to happen very well.
Well, you don't need them to cooperate with each other, though. You just need them to cooperate with certain interests at certain times. And it doesn't even have to be constant. You don't have to get a politician to vote every time for this one type of bill, right? And say there's like a funding bill that's threatening to shut down the entire country and its politics and a weird twist of events that happens every fucking budgetary whatever. Because it's happening again. You don't need them to vote.
Cool.
You don't need them to, support that bill every single time. You just need enough of them to do it every time that it continues getting things worked out in your favor, right? So the CIA comes to, 80% of the fucking Senate, right? And they're like, hey guys, fucking 80% of you, this isn't even the whole lot of you, but we only need fucking 35% of you to be blackmailed. And we've got blackmail on 50% of you. So now we've got 50% blackmail of 80% of the fucking Senate holders. And now we're going to get that bill passed.
That's what I'm saying, though. I don't think it's that coordinated, dude. I think it's chaos.
Why wouldn't
I think
you think it's that
the CIA doesn't move in a linear fashion toward a secret dark goal. I think it's a bunch of different people with a bunch of different plans and ideologies are like pushing their agenda forward, and some of those counteract, and some people are in the pocket of this people, or they got dirt on this person. Oh, by the way, there's an election every fucking 2 to 6 years, and then all of them either get replaced or they have to run for candidacy again or whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying anymore, but my point is, like, politicians get replaced periodically.
Right.
And
they get replaced. Sorry, dude.
Oh, you're good. But I just don't think it's like people are moving in march step toward a thing. Like, I think if the direction, if like the country is moving a direction, it's a ship, right? Like, we're moving a direction. There is like 50,000 different opinions trying to grab the wheel and turn it their direction and fighting each other to the point where no one's at the helm, dude. We're all just ghost riding the whip.
Right. But I don't think it needs. I don't think you can consider it like a ship, though. I think it's too compartmentalized. That's part of the problem, right? Is it's not the fucking CIA trying to do all this stuff for the common good of the country, and the FBI is also trying to do their thing for the common good of the country, and they're fucking all, or maybe they're all. I don't think they're all working for the same goal either. I think it's all different compartmentalized things that are creating a lot of the issues, right? Think about like the news, for example, right? You've seen that video where it's like they start saying something on the news. It's like the intro to a broadcast, right? And then they put another one up, the same intro. It's the same exact intro from across the country. And then they start playing all these different hundreds of little boxes of these intros, and it's the exact same intro, right? Across the entire nation, right? Have you ever seen that video?
No, but who gives a fuck about the news, dude? Like
should,
that's no, like that shit's dead, dude.
It is now, but what it led to was the passing and the misinformation of a lot of different things, right? Like the country as a whole for a very long time was reliant on these news services, right? And the evidence now is that it was all being manipulated to say the same stuff.
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't
now
matter
now we have the internet, dude.
It doesn't matter that now we have the internet, right? Because now everybody's so fragmented in all these different little groups, right? You're trans, so your trans issues are fucking what's most important to you. Well, these people are gay. What's most important to them are the gay issues. These people are farmers.
We're focusing on sexuality and gender.
Dude, this is just this is how they fucking separate everybody, right? Everybody's separated, fragmented. Nobody's talking about the same things, right?
Everybody has their own subreddit. Yeah.
Well, that's right, dude. Yeah. Why would you give a fuck about what's happening to the farmers in Minnesota when in your hometown fucking some trans bitch got arrested because she stabbed her fucking, I don't know, fucking non-binary cis human partner because they don't know how to share fucking Kellogg's. All right,
but
that's more important than what's happening to the farmers in Minnesota, right? But you know what? The farmers in Minnesota are producing food for the rest of the fucking country. It's kind of a big ticket issue, but nobody has the time or the energy to focus on it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say. Is that I don't care about either one of those things.
I know you don't.
I don't care about the trans murderer, or the farmer in Minnesota. If I gotta be honest with you, I mean, like I want them both to live happy, fulfilled lives wherever the fuck they are. You know, right. I hope that trans lady is the best murderer that they can be. Right. And I hope that dude in Minnesota is growing the biggest kumquats you could possibly imagine.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't really think about him very much.
Well, no. Because you don't watch the news. And even if you did watch the news, you wouldn't get the story about both of them anyway, would you? Because the news only focuses on certain things. This is what I'm getting at, right?
Nobody's watching the news, dude.
If you were a government institution, okay? Just this is just a little thought exercise, okay? We're going to say that Jonah is the government institution.
Okay, right? So I'm the
You're the deep state. You're the deep state.
Okay.
We'll just say that.
Just me.
You and the conglomerate of whatever it is that makes up the deep state is you, okay?
Yeah, but there's like a politics and nuance to the deep state too, and like, right. Yeah, just because I'm the head right now doesn't mean I'm not going to get ousted.
Well, that's exactly
or backstabbed
right.
or
so
fucking...
you're trying to do everything you can to maintain power over the deep state. Make sure people don't think about the deep state as a serious thing. You're doing everything you can in manipulating the media, manipulating social media, fucking, what are they fucking called? I can't even remember what they're fucking called. Like Facebook, social media groups, fucking Facebook, X.
Right.
You're manipulating that shit. You're fucking talking to Google, right? You're like, hey, Google, listen, we don't want these ads or this information or these articles to pop up, right? But what's the most important thing that you need to do to make sure that fucking your seat in the deep state is maintained?
Gotta make money.
Not even, dude.
Gotta make money.
No, dude, that money's already rolling in. You've got money coming in from the government every fucking month from taxes. Money's not an issue. You've got all the money in the world.
Okay.
The Pentagon misplaces billions of dollars every year.
Okay. You're right. You're right. So got my bills paid. What's my most important? As the deep state, what's my most important objective? I don't know. I'd say preventing civil war, which if that's the case, they're not doing a great job.
Why would you want to prevent civil war? There's a lot of money involved with that.
Well, that's the only thing that would probably tear apart the deep state at that point.
Or give it the last step it needs to take over everything. I mean, imagine imagine if you will, right? You don't need to prevent. I think you don't need to prevent civil war. You just need to keep
too much power.
You need to
in
keep
these people.
You need to keep people from organizing with each other. That's the biggest thing, and that's what they've done, right? They've kept people from being able to organize in groups large enough to actually take on the government, right? They don't have to create a civil war. They have to create so many small fractured groups that nobody ever bands together, right? You've got the fucking people that think they're patriots that are running around with swastikas. You've got the fucking Black Lives Matter running around. But those groups are never going to fucking band together, right? Because obviously they're fucking two sides of the same coin. They're polar opposites. They hate each other, right? So that's two groups right there. Two giant groups of people that will never band together against the government. And all you have to do from then is keep everybody else that falls somewhere in the middle of the fucking matrix. All you got to do is make them not give a fuck. Right? Which they've done.
You're right. You're right, dude. I'm someone that doesn't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck.
I got shit going on. I got a podcast to do.
I hardly give a fuck. You know, I couldn't give a shit less.
I mean, you fucked off out of the country, dude. Like,
yeah, we've got our own deep state problems here. I guess I could talk about.
Okay, cute, dude. Your fucking deep state's cute compared to ours, dude.
But you don't even believe it's real, dude.
No, dude. I think it's real. I just don't think it's efficient. I just don't think it actually is. It's a behemoth that's like leaking oil. It's just like an iron giant that's just like leaking oil. Can't really. Too much maintenance is happening constantly to the point where you can't do anything. It's like trying to run a heavy equipment platoon, but like everything's down, you know. And then you get something up, but you use it for a minute, and then it fucking breaks down again. And then you're 6 months back in the maintenance bay, you know, before you get to touch it again. And then it's like, by the way, the maintenance blade blew up. We got to build another one. And then you're like, fuck, okay, how do we... Guys, can we get it together? Like, I think that would be me running the deep state. It'd just be a series of me going, hey, can we get it together? Like, this is fucking ridiculous. Right. Let's fucking... Like, we're trying to take over the world here. We need to be all on the same page, guys. Bring it in. Huddle. Mass huddle. Let's go. Yeah. You know, it's just a constant series of that is... And it never gets anywhere, dude. Fucking Damien's always, you know, making fun of me behind my back, you know.
Fuck that, dude.
Fucking Carlos and Antoine are always fucking off, you know. Fucking Stacy and Charles are literally fucking. Yeah. And then, but like they're supposed to be on other sides, you know. Like, ideologically they're different, but it's kind of hot. You know, but so they fuck a lot, and you know, I'm trying to lead to a direction of that's very undefined because we can't put anything down in fucking writing, or else it gets leaked, and then I'm exposed as the leader of the fucking Mossad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, or whatever they say they want to say you are, so they can get you ousted and take your role, because it doesn't even have to be true.
We can't even write anything down, dude. That's the worst part about the deep state.
No,
you can't email your fellow deep stater and be like, "Oh, damn, Biden's kind of a bitch today," you know? Like, damn, did we pump him up more Adderall? We need more Adderall in Biden's bloodstream. Stat. Right. Like, we can't even email that to each other.
But I don't think the mission is to run this fucking heavy equipment platoon, I don't think the mission is to actually go out and do heavy equipment. Right? When you break it down to the equipment's always breaking down, right? Why is that? Because the shit parts that we get are fucked up, right? But how much do we pay for those shit parts? A fucking lot, because of government contracts that we fucking convinced a bunch of politicians to sign, right? Because they get kickbacks, right? So the mission isn't to construct the economy and the nation as in a positive, well-working machine. The mission is to make as much money for myself as I can. And everybody else is trying to do that too, right? And the only threat to you making even more money is the fact that if these people don't make money, they're going to try to get you ousted. So everything you do revolves around pushing for these big contracts, this fucking exorbitant spending.
Do you think that there's anybody in the deep state that genuinely wants what's best for America? And they're just like, no, like I want to listen. I want to be, partial on or like non-biased on the issues. I want to drive us to a more happier, successful America. You think there's anybody there?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I really do. And the problem is that I don't think, for example, right, like the end of the 70s, the beginning of the 80s, like it was really the height of this like weird drug culture shift in America, right? And they're really starting to put the fucking pin down on the hippies growing pot and stuff in fucking California, for example, right? Now there wasn't
they were trying to counteract the anti-war effort?
Yeah. But the police officers don't necessarily know that. A lot of them, right? You think about your average cop, how read up, especially back then, they would have been on the politics of the day, what's actually going on. Why are we suddenly demonizing this thing? Is it because it's a bad drug, or is it because the fucking political movements, right? Well, if you're getting told by instructors, right, coming in to teach your department about the dangers of marijuana and what it does to you and stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean it's fucking true information. But this is the stuff that's being passed to them, right? They're telling cops that this fucking marijuana is going to get into schools. It's going to make your kids fucking whatever. It's going to fucking turn them into killers and thieves and rapists, right?
Or
that was a lot of... Or gay. Can you imagine?
The worst.
The worst one of all, But like... So I think there's like a lot of people that are like, fuck, I don't want that to happen in my hometown. Well, we got to go out and fucking... we got to go out and fucking put a stop to this. We're police officers. We got to go out and capture all this fucking marijuana and then set fire to a bunch of it. And then the rest of it disappears to go somewhere. I don't know where. Fucking, it's just the government for you. They take it, they process it as evidence, right? So you think that same thing with 9/11, right? Like there was, 9/11 happened. That was fucking crazy. Everybody's like, holy shit, fucking Saddam Hussein and fucking Osama bin Laden and all this stuff. There's all this fucking crazy shit going on politically, and they fucking flew planes into the fucking two towers. We got to go to the Middle East. This is why. We're going to the Middle East because the two towers. We're going to the Middle East because of terrorism. We're going to the Middle East because we're really mad about our fucking thousands of people that got killed in the two towers, right? Little did they fucking know all the other nonsense that was going on, right? That the WMDs didn't really exist, and we made that up. The fucking oil contracts with the Saudis and stuff that we didn't talk about. A whole heap of shit about us going to the Middle East. The fucking medical grade heroin, all the fucking poppies and stuff that we were fucking smuggling out of the fucking Afghanistan for the fucking pharmaceutical companies. All this other shit was going on. Right?
Yeah, literally, like Marines were guarding poppy fields, and we're like, "Don't take our
don't take our drugs." Yeah,
this heroin's important. Don't really know what for, but
really important.
Can you imagine? You imagine, dude, me and you fucking guarding a poppy field, and we're just like, "What the fuck, dude?"
I wouldn't be guarding it for very long, dude. How long do you have to guard a poppy field before you're like, maybe we should just test it out.
Maybe we should fucking, dude. Isn't that like isn't that what opium is?
I think you have to. That's opium. Dry it out and smoke it. Yeah, it's just dried poppy.
Not that hard.
I think
dude.
you can make a tea out of it too. I think you can do tea out of poppy leaves and blooms. I'm not sure. There was this Hawaiian poppy that me and my buddies were trying to get seeds for when we're in high school. We're like, because we found it online. We're like, oh fuck yeah, you can just buy the seeds for this, and you grow it. It grows like a weed, man, and it gets you so fucked up. We're like, oh fuck yeah, that sounds fucking awesome. Like you gotta be careful, we're talking about like, oh, how much will kill you and all this stuff.
You're right. I mean, responsible.
Yeah, responsible. Be careful. We wanted to be careful. We never got it. We never.
Damn.
But.
We never got it. Okay. Yeah. I just think there's too many moving pieces, but I think you're right. I think there's moments in time that certain groups are like, fuck yeah, and I think like the day after 9/11 and like all the the military industrial complex people, I know it's a bunch of people, but whatever, like say they had a board meeting, they just went, this is the best thing that could have fucking happened ever, huh? This is the greatest day ever right now.
What a win for America.
Yeah, look, everyone's so fucking hyped on war right now, and 100%, fuck. Man, I don't know, maybe not. There's always fucking weirdos, but like, I mean, obviously, I was alive during 9/11, but I was a kid, right? But if I would have been fucking 19, 20,
fuck yeah, you would have signed up real fucking quick.
Do you know how fucking hyped I would have been, dude? I would have been on some shit trying to fucking like mowing over people just to get to the fucking recruiter's office. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of people were.
Bro, the amount of fucking advertising, the amount of money that went into advertising for the branches of the military right after 9/11, dude, was ridiculous. Like that's when you started seeing these emergence of like those fucking awesome Marine Corps ads, where they're fucking climbing up the side of the cliff, fucking boost, and he gets up there with the fucking sword and he fucking stabs the dragon in the face and cuts its head off, and then he fucking does the salute and it's like, and he fucking, now he's in his dress blues, like, oh shit, that dude's badass. A lot of these ads started really fucking like being pushed hardcore, like propagandized to get young people to like, fucking, we're already hyped up, let's fucking go, we're gonna go fucking blow the shit out of some goddamn Iraqis, fucking crazy number of people. I mean, I even remember the ads. I remember how often they were on, right? Because we didn't have cable, we didn't have dish or nothing. We had this fucking stupid antenna that, like, certain channels you had to go outside and spin the pole a little bit to catch, like, turn the fucking like antenna at the top to catch, like. But I remember all the ads on like PBS even, for like, go talk to your recruiter at the Army now, go to the Navy, do you want a future, do you want to sail the world, go talk to your Navy recruiter today.
Yeah, you're
wild, bro.
You're a little bit older than me, so maybe you caught some of those. I didn't catch any of the. I was too young to really understand what the fuck was going on in 9/11. But I do remember the things that got me, dude. That got me for the Marine Corps. You want to hear them?
Yeah, dude. Tell me.
There's two things. Two things pretty simple, honestly. Okay. One was John Cena in the Marine. It's a movie about a dude that fucking is in the Marines.
Yeah, what a badass.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Dude, I saw it in theaters, bitch.
Whoa.
I saw it in I think I saw it twice in theaters.
God damn, dude.
And I was like, that was like, also like, I pretty much grew up, without a strong male role model. And that movie hit me right in the fucking, I don't know, whatever it is, the manhoodness,
the giblets, dude.
Yeah, hit me right in the fucking testosterone giblets.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. So Marines are cool, but meanwhile he's like, it's like John Cena doing like a ridiculous fucking like action movie to save his girlfriend that got abducted by like fucking
Terrorists
diamond
of some
thieves or
kind.
something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, whatever. That one got me pretty good, and the other one was Family Guy.
Oh.
Family Guy, dude. There's like a throwaway line, like a throwaway one-liner in there, and it's like Lois talking about the branches of the military, and like I think she calls like Meg's like talking to a guy from the Navy or something. She's like, oh, like Navy guys are pussies. She's like Marines are the ones you want to fuck. And as a child, I watched that and I was like,
yeah, they do.
Noted.
Just fucking locking that one away up there,
dude. That was, I don't think, I mean, maybe, I'm sure the actual Marines funded at least the movie, or to some capacity, but the commercials didn't do it for me. The billboards didn't do it for me. It was like a throwaway line from from like an animated sitcom and John Cena.
I mean, that's perfect. You're the exact type of person the Marine Corps wants. Kind of stupid. Not a lot else going on.
Dude, I saw you wrote down military punishments. I'm curious to hear about that.
Yeah. So, do you have any interesting military punishments? Like shit that's just fucking stupid. What's your favorite one?
That happened to me personally.
Happened to you personally, or happened to somebody that you knew, or one you just heard of?
The one that comes to mind immediately was actually with our dear friend William.
Oh yes.
Yeah, whenever so what had happened was we were in Okinawa. A bunch of like we had to get up at 5 a.m. and like be out in a fucking people box to go for a run like every day. And we also had a platoon of fucking I think I got up to like 85 people at one point.
Did we have that many people in our platoon?
I think
so. Is that between
dude.
Maintenance and ops, or just maintenance, or just ops?
I think it was just ops. It was like 80 people.
Dude, that's a lot of people.
It was way too many people.
Yeah.
I actually heard on the back end that like a mistake happened.
Okay.
Is how we got that many people in our platoon. But anyway, so we had like this fucking large platoon. We're all like 18, 19, 20 years old, and we have to be outside at this ungodly hour every morning to go work out together in a particular uniform.
22, 23. Oh.
What? Oh, you?
Sorry, that's how old I was. Yeah, I was like 22, 23. I was already over the hill.
Yeah, you were kind of a late
speaking.
bloomer, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
still
know
blooming.
this.
Fucking 10 years later, I'm still blooming, dude. I haven't even fucking leafed out yet. Sorry, continue.
But like most of us were pretty young, so inevitably somebody was always fucking late, and like somebody was always still asleep, and you had to go fucking, hey, somebody run in, go fucking get Mike in. He's still, he's
was
not out
never
here
me,
yet.
Dude. It was fucking Kent.
It was Kent.
We remember
Kent
you, dumbass.
almost
fucking
every time,
Kent, dude. Oh, I fucking hated. Anyway, yeah, continue.
And so, dude, and it was also never me, besides one fucking day. One day, and like this has been happening for a while, and like I guess this was William's fucking, you know what, time to put my foot down. Like anybody that's late today is gonna fucking, like experience like martial punishment.
How dare you be late, dude? Oh.
Yeah. So it was like me and two other dudes that we literally just fucking alarm didn't go off. You're like, or maybe it did. I don't remember exactly. I think it was like a Monday. We set it weird or something. I don't know.
That's on, because I would have been late too then if because I would have woke you up.
I don't remember. This is when I was living with Skaggs at this point.
Oh, right. Yeah, it would have been you two were both late then. Yeah, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, so we were late, and like William's fucking going off, dude. And this is and like I don't think he's even proud of this phase of his life, but he was a real fucking asshole at this point in his life. And his punishment to us is that we have to chip paint off of a window. Which it doesn't sound that bad, but this was like, I don't know what kind of fucking paint they used to like paint these fucking windows, but it was fucking on there, son. And all we had was like putty knives. Like they didn't give us like paint thinner. They didn't give us any kind of like chemicals to actually do this properly. Yeah. They were just like, hey, like you guys get extra fucking duty, like. They were literally trying to think of like shitty things that need to get done, or like that could happen, that they could justify, telling a Marine to do.
Right.
The problem with this was that these are the windows to the office, to where they all hung out. Mm-hmm. So we were like, bet, dude.
We'll scrape the fuck out of that paint, dude.
And we did scrape the fuck out of it, dude. We were just fucking scraping. But we were also like, it works better if you kind of like hit it a bit, and like you kind of like hit it and like dig at it a bit. Yeah. And so we were just pounding the fuck out of these windows. We broke. I think we broke all of them. Like they all cracked.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Barely got any paint off. But we were just like wailing on these windows while they were like trying to work, dude. And I remember fucking, I think it was Mac, that super jacked blonde dude.
Yeah, Sergeant Mac, yeah.
Yeah. He was like at some, like they were trying to ignore it at first. They were trying to be like, all right, these guys are just fucking with us. Like we're fucking with them, they're fucking with us. Like fuck we're just gonna ignore it. And then eventually he like pounds back on the window from the inside, and he's like fucking stop. And I'm like, what? I need to get the paint off the window.
Yeah.
And they definitely regretted that punishment, and it didn't work at all. No. People were still late a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then they came out and they're like, "You guys think you're funny, huh?" And we're like, "What? We're just it's most effective if you." Yeah, so it ended up being like more of like a pissing contest, but than a proper punishment, I guess. But I assume you have one that you're rolling around in your mind, eh?
There's a bunch of them, dude. I just remember a lot of really funny shit from especially Japan. Like Japan was the fucking funniest shit I ever experienced in my life, to be honest with you. Just, in general, right? When especially looking back, in retrospect, some of the shit we got up to on the weekends, how depressed some people felt just being there. Like, oh, I just want to go home. It's like, dude, you're in a fucking other country. Like, you can do anything you want, dude, just as long as you're here within these parameters,
Well, there was a lot of fucking parameters, but yeah.
There was a lot of parameters. Hey, I'm not going to say there's not. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it was all fucking peachy keen all the time, dude, because it fucking sucked, right? But I remember a couple different punishments. I remember one time we were in the field. I don't know if you were with us or not. I know Meth was, because he's the one that got the punishment.
Meth is the last name of a person, by the way.
Yeah, he's one of our platoon mates, Mr. Meth. Do you remember his first name?
Brandon?
Yeah, I think it is Brandon. Yeah, Brandon Meth. Yeah, it's fine if we name drop him. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, well, and I can't remember what he did. I think he was either fucking rolling rocks down a hill, because you know how you go to the field at the mud pit, right? And there's like so many machines there, and then everybody else just sits up on the fucking hill and waits for their turn to operate. Boring as shit.
Yeah, you operate for like 30 minutes, and then someone's like, "Hey, can I need something to do. I need to do my..." Because again, we had fucking 80 fucking people, and only... And I think of those 80 people, I think maybe like 15 were like higher enlisted, and the rest were all junior Marines.
Yeah, a bunch of PFCs and Lance fucks they're fucking running around.
Yeah. So we were all just like, but there's only like 10 on a good day pieces of gear to operate. So there's just fucking 50 of us sitting on a hill.
Yeah, just
doing our job,
waiting, watching, like trying to learn, and fucking seeing dirt be moved around, like, woo, super exciting stuff, right? And I can't remember what he was doing. I think he was just generally fucking off, not paying attention. And so Gunny Kaiser told him, like, hey, you need to be fucking, not in so many words, well, you have meth, you need to be fucking paying attention, right? Oh, yes, Gunny, sorry, yeah, no worries. Lo and behold, dude, he starts fucking around again, rolling rocks, just throwing pebbles. Because that was one of our favorite games in the Marines, was just to see how many rocks you could get in a fucking hard hat or a helmet,
Right.
Just in general area, right? Just fucking throwing rocks, dude. That's all there is to do. And I remember he got caught, and Gunny Kaiser made him carry around this fucking, not a small rock. It was a pretty big fucking rock. Made him carry this rock around with him the rest of the time we were in the field. I think we were out there for like 2 or 3 days. And he had to fucking put it in a sleeping bag with him. He had to bring it to every formation. If he didn't have the rock, he didn't like keep the rock clean. If it had too much mud on it, he'd fucking get chewed out and stuff. And he had to do everything with this rock. All the fucking exercise we did in the mornings, he had to take this rock with him. It was just super funny. I don't know. It was just hilarious. They had to carry this fucking big ass rock around.
I don't remember that for some reason. I don't know if I was at that particular field time.
We did a lot of smaller field ops to like the mud pit, where we would just go practice with the scrapers and stuff. I know you were doing a lot with the range and fucking.
Yeah, you're right.
Fucking fuck knows what else you were getting up to.
I was fucking off a fair bit, dude. Yeah. I spent a lot of time in the Marine Corps fucking off. And I think that's because I realized what it was at some point. And I was like, oh, this is just a fucking circus.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, like, I understand the function of the Marine Corps and of a military to be, properly function. But during peacetime, if you're in the military, you have a lot of time to fuck off.
It's a fuck off sesh. The whole time is a fuck off sesh. Yeah.
And once I realized that, I was like, oh, got it.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't even need to necessarily be here anymore. I can just fuck off.
I'm gonna fuck off hard every chance I get. Thanks.
Yeah. There was this one I guess you could call it a punishment, and I think you'd remember this one. It was when we were learning the MTL, or the Bobcat. Little fucking front end loader thing with the fork and the bucket, all that stuff. Fun little machine to operate. Probably the most fun machine to operate in the entirety of all machinery, I would say.
Yeah, you rammed it into a door.
Fucking else I did. Well, and that is evidence of like how fucking not effective this punishment was, right? So the punishment I'm referring to is when we were learning about the MTO, the Bobcat, whatever you want to call it, right? And we had to maneuver it through these cones to move a box and a little flow con up on the trailer and back up, so I can pick it up, you'd reverse through the cones, right? Now, if you ran over one of the cones, PFC Cone, right? You hit
Yeah.
PFC Cone. You remember you had to write a letter to PFC Cone's family,
family,
Mr. and Mrs. Cone,
right, and inform them of their son's unfortunate demise.
Yeah, you
at
had to
your
let
hands.
them know at your hands. You had to explain why it is that you couldn't physically check behind you to make sure that PFC Cone wasn't behind you before you fucking brutally murdered him by rolling over his fucking small square body with cone-shaped head. you know?
Yeah, dude. I do. Dude, you're right. There was some funny ones for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude. That one always got me, dude, because I love it. I actually loved writing to Mr. and Mrs. Cone. I thought it was always a really good time. I always really took the time to fucking write a nice, heartfelt letter. You know, it brought me to tears a couple of times anyway. But yeah, I miss some of that stuff, some of that aspect of like the Marine Corps. That's those things that I find really enjoyable to think about, funny and nostalgic. Is like the fucking the rubber rifle, for example, or the fucking the exhaust samples, right? Did you ever have to go get exhaust samples?
I witnessed somebody else do it, so I was like, okay, you're not gonna get me on that one.
Yeah,
It was literally like whenever somebody new would show up to the unit, you'd be like, hey, this is what needs to happen today. We need to go over to that machine there and collect some exhaust samples. So I need you to grab a trash bag and go turn it on, and then collect some exhaust in that bag. Make sure you tie it real nice and tight, and make sure you date it. Yeah. You know, and then we're gonna send that off.
And then you get it back. It's not double bagged, so you got to go do it again. No, make sure you double bag that shit because you don't want there to get a hole. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like you have to do that or you go insane, dude. Just trying to run a garrison Marine Corps.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. It's a weird concept because you've got all these people from all different walks of life, and also they were all stupid enough to join the Marine Corps instead of one of the other branches, right? Whatever the reasons were. And you've just got this weird eclectic group of fucking thugs from the streets, fucking farm boys that do nothing but drink and get in punch-ups on the weekends, fucking
lot of
chicks,
Hispanics, dude.
Nerds, a lot of Hispanics coming in with their fucking, dude, man, I never had fucking taco night quite like a Marine Corps taco night, dude. And I'm not saying that like sarcastically or mean or rude. I mean, I fucking fell in love with taco night in the Marine Corps. Not so much in Japan, but dude, fucking California, bro. We had some like Hispanic dudes in our unit. Man, they would go down on these stupid, shitty little fucking barbecues that are just like concreted into around the barracks, right? And they would be fucking cooking up carne asada and fucking peppers and chilies and fucking veg, and then do fucking grilled onions and oh my god, dude, it's so fucking nice.
It was like such like a culture melting pot in a way. And like I kind of grew up like that. So my mic just sounded super weird. I kind of grew up in like a super diverse, like lower income kind of place. So like I was pretty used to being around black folk, brown folk, whatever you want, Asian, all of them. I was super accustomed to being around that. But like I legit saw some people struggle that came from like fucking Colorado, that's just like 99% white.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, I'm like, this is like a culture shock in a way. And like the Marine Corps in general is a culture shock, but when you add in just like legit all of these people's different cultures, I think that was like overwhelming for some people, at least initially.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird concept, because...
Did you have any of that coming from Oregon? I mean, it's like pretty fucking white in Oregon, no?
There's like 8 black dudes in my entire hometown, right? You only see them during the summertime,
Yeah.
But like it was a bit weird, probably kind of being thrown into all these different.
Can I? I'm gonna take a potty and grab an ice cube.
Okay,
Is that cool?
I'm gonna grab. Yeah, I'll grab some coffee. I'm running out.
Okay, and then I'll ask you about White Oregon.
Pause.
Hey, bro.
How'd you like that? Nice. You get to see.
No,
a
dude,
little bit of my
that
process,
looked
dude.
good, man. Actually,
Mm.
I think I was telling you, I'm pretty fucking sore from golf, which is stupid.
Man, I'm sore from golf. Oh, I'm so sore from fucking swinging and sitting and swinging more.
Yeah, that's right, dude. I fucking am.
believe
And
you.
we can talk about it. We can talk about your attitude about it. Frankly, is a little throwing me off. But
Is it throwing you off a little bit?
we can talk about it.
Okay.
I wanted you to finish your thought about like coming into the Marine Corps from Oregon though, and it being like
Oh yes.
super dominated one way culturally, and then you entered this like melting pot of the military, which is the military, and then I think even the Marine Corps is even more diverse than probably the rest of the military, I reckon.
Yeah.
More crazy for sure.
There's more dummies. A lot more
Yeah.
dummies in the Marines.
Dumb
And then
dude.
the attitude that you kind of, well, because part of it is that you develop this attitude of I'm a badass. I'm the most badass branch because they tell us we're the most badass branch. This is what we do. We fucking get hand-me-down army shit. Nothing new. And we have to do the same thing, if not more than they do, with this hand-me-down bullshit. We get zero time and resources to do it. And it's bullshit. The stuff we have to come up with is bullshit, right? We have to find solutions to problems that shouldn't exist in the first place because the Marine Corps made them that way. And
Well,
if
I
you
love
wanted
the
happiness, all right, the Marine Corps would have issued you some. Right.
Dude, there is something badass about that. That's undeniable.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh hey, oh you fucking like the Marine Corps provides everything that you fucking need, asshole. Be better
Be better.
and stop fucking complaining.
Yeah. Stop whinging. It's not that bad. You could have it worse. You
Yeah.
know? You could be so unfortunate as to be in the Air Force and then your aircon breaks. How unfortunate would that be? You don't even have aircon, so it can never break. Therefore, fucking disappointment is resolved and avoided entirely.
Right.
Right.
Air Force pussies.
Yeah.
But-
pussies.
This is the problem with booze, dude. I'm starting to feel
so-
it a bit.
To answer your question, it was a little bit odd going from like a very like monoculturistic state of like a bunch of white farmers and fucking a bunch of assholes and whatever, I don't know. Fucking not a lot of other types of assholes. You only get like one type of asshole, maybe two types of assholes. The other assholes, you just hear about those, right? But I was very fortunate because my family is just never been really kind of I don't know, we've never given a fuck, right? There's never been this attitude of like, oh fucking don't talk to them because they're black or they're brown, they've got a different color skin than you. It's always like, oh, I wonder what their culture's like. Oh, I wonder what they do. You know, my grandpa's from Texas. He was raised on a cotton farm where his mom basically run the farm by herself with like 9 kids. Right, so the dad wasn't in the picture anymore, and so he was just raised around Mexican immigrants coming up to work, so they'd come up and work, and then he got to be around their parties or the fiestas, whatever you want to call it. At the
He probably
end,
knew quite a bit of Spanish too, huh?
He didn't know a lot of Spanish, but he taught them a lot of Czech. So like they would speak Czech to each other, which is odd. So there's actually a weird portion of Mexicans that speak Czech, Dutch, and German, right? Because of the types of immigrants that were living in the South at the time that were running these farms and they're hiring them on, right? But that is all to say that my attitudes about other cultures, other people, other skin colors, and fucking attitudes and stuff was pretty just. Couldn't really care, much less. I mean, it wasn't like I held some kind of like uncomfort with being around black people, because I'd been to Africa, I'd been to Peru, and I'd been to Canada. I've been around a lot of homeless people in my life, so like people that are super poor doesn't really bother me. People that are super rich, I actually feel weirder, or I'll be honest with you, I feel weirder being around people that got heaps of fucking money and opportunity and stuff like that than I do when I'm just around fucking the dregs of society. And I've always felt like that. It's very strange. But like going into the Marine Corps, a lot of people had problems with like taking orders from somebody who's Hispanic, because they've never even seen a Hispanic person before. They're like, "Oh, you're Mexican, you're telling me what to do." Yeah, he's a rank higher than you. He's been here longer. You got to do it. Like, I don't know how to feel about that. It's weird. I've never understood it.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, my background as well is that I grew up pretty poor. I was trailer trash, son. And I've worked, I don't know, pretty hard, gotten lucky, made the right decisions enough to the point where I think you'd be hard pressed, son, to consider me trailer trash at this point in my life.
Yeah.
Daddy ballin' for trailer trash,
Yeah.
If I'm still trailer trash, I'm the top end of trailer trash, is all I'm saying.
Fuck yeah. Fucking, you're like at the upper echelons of trailer trash.
That's right. But I did have also a similar sentiment to you, is like part of that transition away from like kind of the lower dregs of society, is I was like, I rejected that pretty hard. And then eventually escaped it, at least in like got in my hometown, figured out a way to make a little bit of money, got married to someone of considerably more resources than I. And then I kind of had to come to grips with the fact of like, oh, I'm the person that I used to hate.
Right.
Because I 100% was like, oh, fucking rich people. Like, fuck rich people. Like, oh, you don't know the fucking, well, you got problems? Okay, life's hard. You got fucking problems. Or you go golfing and your arm hurts? Oh, okay, that's fucking problem.
Your arm hurts from golf. Oh, you're so sore. Oh.
Right. But it was interesting, I think, just in that I had to unpack this like issue that I had with people that have surplus resources.
What the Marine Corps did, I think, what the Marine Corps did was, it didn't matter which end of the spectrum you sat on, whether it's like financial spectrum or racial spectrum or just general well-being, mental health spectrum. It doesn't matter where you sit on any of those. The Marine Corps was really effective at fucking reminding you that you don't fucking matter, and none of that other stuff matters as well, because everybody else around you all suck, right? You're all stinky, you're all slow, you're all fat, or you're all way too thin. Right? There's no perfect Marine, right? None of those. There is no such thing, right? And you're all in it together. And I think that is like the biggest takeaway, or biggest thing I took away from the Marine Corps was that we're all in it together, and there's some people that just don't pull their weight, so you just fucking ignore those cunts, right? If you try a couple of times to get them to pull their own weight, they're not going to do it. It's not even worth expending your energy over because fucking you've got a bunch of other people that are trying to, and you just kind of fucking fall in with that group, and that was kind of one of the things that made the Marine Corps, especially Japan, a little bit cliquey. I thought was that like it wasn't necessarily like fucking everybody that was black hung out with everybody that was black, and everybody that was white hung out with everybody that was white, and all farm boys hung out together, and the fucking it was less that. It was more Motor T hung out with Motor T, and then out of that group you had the fucking dumbass Motor T and the less dumbass Motor T. Right, and then they would hang out together. But they were always Motor T. They were always banded together. They always backed each other up into some stupid fight in the smoke pit. It was always Motor T versus HE or Motor T versus Artie. It doesn't really matter. But like the Marine Corps, I think broke down a lot of these weird social constructs that I think people like tend to cling to, especially like well, here's another good example. Kent, right? Kent, for example, right? He never. There was this weird attitude where I heard it a bunch of times. Like, fucking a higher up would tell him like, listen, what do you think that you're back on the block? You're a thug back on the block doing whatever the fuck it is you want. You're not. You're here with everybody else. Nobody's special. Nobody's fucking great. Everybody sucks ass. And unless you figure that out, fucking. But and that's what a lot of it was. There was certain people that just push back on any kind of structure whatsoever so much that they kind of miss the point, which is we're kind of all stuck there, right? We're all stuck there. The ones that fucking think about themselves and like cry and whinge and are depressed, they're the ones that got separated from the group, and everybody else had a great fucking time because we all realized that we're all stuck there. We all realized it doesn't matter if you're fucking black, white, Mexican, Chinese, whatever. We all bleed green, right? We're all part of the same group, part of the same companies, part of the same platoon. I don't know. It was kind of cool. Like. I haven't seen anything quite like it since either. Like since I've been back in the civilian world, that kind of as much as we like hated each other or argued or whatever, there was still like this connectiveness. You know what I mean? This weird connectiveness that you just do not get anywhere else. Camaraderie as well.
It's a fraternity, dude.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's a fraternity that you can possibly die at.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it more badass. I think the Marine Corps is interesting in that it's kind of the like original promise of America, right? Is that like give us your weak, give us your poor, and we'll fucking we'll turn them around.
Turn them into fucking killers.
Well, the Marine Corps went a step farther there. Yeah, but you're right.
Yeah.
And like in a way it makes a lot of sense, and it's fun to like shit on the Marine Corps and be like, what a fucking ridiculous time that was, and like all these fucking crazy dumbass things we had to do. But in a way, it was also very beautiful in the sense of it brought a bunch of different people of like different backgrounds and various, cultures, intelligence, whatever, mashed them all together, made them the same like level, and then gave them a purpose to drive toward.
Right.
And being a part of that, I think was, I mean, honestly, I think it's almost cliche to say, but ridiculously formative to the person I am today. But like not in the way people think. I think people are like, most like civilians or that never been in the military are like, you joined the military, thank you for your service. That's, you joined the military, that's cool. And it's like, yeah, like I joined the military, but like the lessons that I learned were way more about people than they were about like government warfare, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, not just about yourself, right? Like the things you learned about yourself as a person and where you sit in society, but like everybody else. Who gets it, who doesn't? Who kind of understands, who doesn't understand? Where do you fit in? And the different ways that you in turn interact with everybody else. Right? Like the way that I interact with people now is so vastly different than it was before I joined the Marines. And for better or for worse, right? Like sometimes it's really awesome. Like I'm able to talk to people and get through and get people riled up about a single topic or whatever it is. At the same time, I don't take criticism from people I find stupid very well. You know what I mean? Like, and that's something the Marine Corps taught me, right? Like when you're fucking getting instruction from an officer who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, you just think to yourself quietly, this person doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And then you go on about your day. You can't really do that in the civilian world, right? Because if somebody who's in charge of you doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, you actually have to pay the fuck attention to what they're saying, because you can just get fired
Not
from your
really,
job.
dude.
You don't reckon?
Nah.
Oh, dude.
Nah, it's strikingly similar in corporate America.
See, I find it the opposite in non-corporate Australia, right? In the fucking industry of construction and or production in Australia is very much like, well, very top heavy for one, dude. I've never seen the fucking manager to pleb ratios that I've seen here. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I don't know. It's I guess all in all. Oh yeah. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you back about something you said about like the money divide. In that, like, I think I mentioned that, like, I grew up very much like not liking rich people because they had more than me. And now I'm like, I'm not rich, but I'm pretty fucking well off from where I started, you know? And at some level I had to meet a lot of rich people and be like, "Oh, you're also just trying to do the best you can." Right. Yeah, like you're just like trying to get through life, and you just started with more resources essentially, but you still have a lot of problems. You still have a lot of issues, and I had a lot of anger toward that. As you've gotten older, have you found a way to mitigate that, or do you still kind of find yourself in the like eat the rich, you know, fuck them kind of thing?
Are you saying I'm poor?
No, I think you're
more.
I think you're more well off.
Dude? Am I fucking poor, dude? What the fuck do you think you are, dude? This is exactly my problem with rich cunts. Hey, they fucking think they've gotten up that fucking peg. Everybody else below them is fucking poor. You got anger? You mad, bro? You mad at me for having more than you? Fucking rich cunts. I fucking tell you, dude. Yeah. I'm just kidding. No, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I guess my attitude about wealth has changed a lot over the last, fucking 5 or 6 years. The value I hold over money is different than I think a lot of people, right? Because I know how many hours you have to work to make a certain amount of money, and then I know how many hours you have to work doing other stuff to make that same amount of money, and sometimes it's a lot less. You know, there's different layers to everything, right? So like education, for example, right? You want to get a better job, go get educated. But you also got to get educated in the right things, because if you don't do the right things, then you can't get the right job. If you don't get the right job, you can't have the right money, right? But yeah,
not even super true.
Well, it does, but it does depend, right? Because you've went and got educated in one thing, and then you found a lot of money doing something completely different, right? Like you don't really do anything within the degree that you have, right?
No, but like, here's the part you figure out later is that people that don't do the fucking prescribed path of like college, get the degree, apply for the job. Once you have the degree, you can apply for the job, and then blah blah blah. People that don't do that are just as make just as much, if not more money than I do.
Yeah, or more so. Yeah,
And
or
you're
more
like,
so.
oh fuck.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? I could have just been doing this and been, that much further along.
Right. And I think a lot of that has to do with the far out cat. Shut the fuck up.
Let me go make cat out real quick.
Okay.
Hold on.
Is it Mac? Oh, poor Mac.
All right, yeah, go and get.
Jeez. Fucking
Sorry,
bossy
bros.
ass bitch, dude.
Who, me?
No, the cat.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't have any ill will or hatred or anger towards people that have more money than I do. All right? Not at all. I don't care. Because my value of wealth has changed over the last few years. This is which I was getting at, right? A few years ago I was talking to you about how I wanted to have a job where I felt fulfilled, a job where I felt like I was making a difference or, actually having some kind of impact. And at least in my case, I think that's what teaching is going to do for me, right? I'm going to go be able to do a job where I get to work with kids, young minds, get to help steer them in a direction that, will help them succeed in life, which is what teaching is supposed to be about. And so I'm excited for that. Not everybody can do that. And not everybody can make a lot of money doing that either. It's a bit different here than it is in the States. Here, teachers are making an average between 75 to 100 grand a year as just a fucking state school teacher, right, with a bachelor's. So it's not that it's not a well-paying job, but that's not necessarily where my mind goes when I'm thinking about like a job where I feel successful, right? And success doesn't necessarily mean for me having all the money that I can do anything I want with. Success to me is having a small group of people around me that are like-minded and are always pushing for further success, whether it's in like business projects or fucking home prospects or mental prospects or whatever. Being able to support those around me that need my help, that I actually give a shit about. Like say something happened with you and fucking you needed $5 grand, 10 grand. Well, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to help my buddy out and get him back on his feet, right? This isn't a call out to everybody who thinks they can just hit me up for money because you can get fucked, okay? I don't have any, for one. I'm poor, so fuck you.
I have some, but I won't give you any.
No.
Unless you're mine.
You can fuck off, dude. This podcast ain't big enough yet. You guys can get the fuck out of here with all your fucking, oh, you remember that one time? I don't remember that one time. Explain it to me. But so no, I don't have any ill will or hatred towards rich people. More than anything nowadays, I've really realized that everybody has the same path. You're born and a bunch of shit happens and then you die. A bunch of shit so much shit happens. It's more shit than it's a lifetime, dude. It's a lifetime of shit.
A lifetime of shit.
There's no way you can keep track of it all. There's no way you come out on the other end perfectly sane. None of us are. That's just the way life goes. But if you're not using that period between birth and death to fulfill some kind of purpose, whether it's one you make yourself, one that's handed to you, you're not doing anything. You don't have to accomplish great things. You don't have to build a fucking monastery on top of fucking some mountain someplace. You don't have to save thousands of children from losing their left eye in India because that's the best way to make money begging. You don't have to fucking create fucking some revolutionary heart transplant surgery, right, that saves billions of lives. I mean, just going out in the day and treating people with respect, I think, is such a huge aspect to making that period between life, birth, and death meaningful, right? Just giving people respect, helping people out that you can, spreading this love, as fucking cliche as that sounds, spreading the love around, and being understanding of people, and I find that it comes, like, the misunderstanding comes from both ends of the spectrum, right? You talk to super rich cunts that have zero experience with how the rest of the world operates. They just don't have any fucking clue. And vice versa. You talk to people on the complete bottom end of the spectrum who have been doing nothing but like struggling to survive since their inception. They've got zero concept with how the rest of the world lives. Two opposite ends of the spectrum, two different sides of the coin. But a majority of people live right around the rim. And I think once people realize that, that's when we start to heal this divide that exists, which I'm not even sure it does. In fact, I think the divide that exists is just in our minds, right? This attitude that we have about these people have and I don't, or these people don't and I do.
Well, this is the concept of like the class struggle, right? And I think, it's just been so weird for me in that I think I've transitioned classes to some degree. Like maybe I'm from lower to middle class or middle to upper. I don't know, however you define it. But it's weird, like talking with people that are still, like still in Jacksonville where I used to be. And then hearing them just openly fucking hate people that have more than them. And I go, I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to think like that. And I realized how absolutely fucking incorrect I was to hate anybody regardless of class or gender or sexuality of anything. But like, I think just this is getting hippie, dude. The more we drink, it's starting to sound suspiciously like we had a mushroom-induced trip a weekend ago.
Dude? You want to take some mushrooms, bro? Fucking go real deep, dude.
Suspicious. But I think if you want to live a successful life, the more that you can replace hate with love, the more you can replace fucking, like, just, negativity with gratitude, the better time you're going to have in the middle of you're born, a bunch of shit happens, then you die.
Right.
And like, that's really it, right? I'm just trying to get myself and everybody that I love and care about to have a better time in that, born, all the shit happens,
yeah.
then die. That's when you boil it down. I think that's what like I'm striving for, what I know you're striving for, and what I think we're all kind of trying to get at.
Right. So would you say that your opinions from when you just blatantly just hated the idea of somebody having more than you and hating them because they do and they have those opportunities, whatever, that transitional shift from then to now, is that only because you've moved out of that one, I guess, tax bracket, for lack of a better word, like that one point in life where you had not and then now you do have a bit? Is that transition, is that what caused you to have this shift in mentality about it, a shift of thought?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think obviously that helped me see it a bit clearer and realize how like mistaken I was for thinking that way.
Right.
And I definitely think if you don't ever do that, it's kind of like if you don't travel, right? Like if you stay in your hometown your entire life, you never go and experience any of their culture, you never travel to a foreign country, you kind of just don't know how other people live, or that there is another way to live that's just as valid as your way of living. I think it's similar.
But then, I mean, then therein lies another paywall, right? Because if you can't afford to travel, then you can't afford to know how other people live. And likewise, if you can never afford to pull yourself out of the financial slump that's preventing you from seeing the fact that everybody's just on the same struggle bus as each other, it's just this person's got a nicer seat than the other one does, right? And getting rid of that hate, right? There's then a paywall to eliminate that hate. Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a paywall that prevents you from gaining that perspective.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good question. Would I be the same person if I never joined the Marines and left Jacksonville?
Nah.
No.
No.
I wouldn't be. Do I think that I'm better for it? Yeah. But, I mean, a lot of people do that, man. A lot of people are just, born into a circumstance and they never see the path forward to better themselves. And I'm not even sure I did either. I just kind of
got really lucky. Made some good decisions early on.
Got lucky, made some good choices, and stumbled my way into, now I'm 20. I don't even know how fucking old I am. I think I'm about to turn 29.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude, I turn 29 next week, I think.
Damn, boy.
Week after. But, it's a good question. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I feel like almost melancholy about it, though, and that I'm sad that people kind of live without experiencing other things, and realizing the error of their thought. And I mean, this is the base. This is the base for racism. This is the base for sexism, or like homophobia. This is the base for, xenophobia. You're afraid of Asian people. I don't know. I think this is the basis for hatred, is that you don't ever get yourself to a point of experiencing another person's culture or life or philosophy to the point where you can go, oh, I see why they could think that way.
I mean, even so many people will put themselves in those positions, right, where they can see how another person lives, where they do have an opportunity to embrace the difference in point of view, right? But then out of all of those people, how many people do we know then double down still? Right? They're like, nah,
Yeah,
that's wrong. I'm right. Whatever this is wrong. I don't believe in this. We should destroy this, or we should just disregard
You're
this.
so right, dude. And humans do that way fucking more
All the
than they do
fucking
the other
time,
side, dude.
Yeah.
They do it way more than people double down way more than they do the other side of trying to experience another side or another perspective of things.
100%, dude. Because it hurts, right? Just to even be hit with the fact that maybe that you're wrong. Everything you think about this thing is wrong. Your perceptions and your understanding of it completely wrong. Time to relearn that. Time to refigure it out. This thing. And
yeah,
or just don't.
Or just
double down.
No, I'm actually super right.
Yeah.
I'm not only not wrong, but I'm
so right.
super right, dude.
I'm so fucking right. I'm the only right one. I'm the rightest. I'm the rightest about this. You know? And then they start writing books. Start writing books about how right they are. And then there's a bunch of people that are like, you know what? He's so right. And now they've got a cult following. It's fucked up. Fuck, humanity's weird, aren't we? We're fucking weird.
Pretty fucking weird, dude.
Crazy. Just in the middle of something.
Yeah,
Just always
dude,
in the middle of something.
Dude, we're always in the middle of something.
Tell me about your opinions about the new Assassin's Creed game.
A flawless transition, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dude, I did it again. I done did it again, son.
So this is one of those situations where you know what the wrong thing is. And it's not even that you double down. It's that you dive back into the pool. Gave you a rash last time.
Yeah. I know that I have a problem being addicted to video games.
Right.
And, I think in particular, like, I was just, I've been drinking again. I started drinking up a bit. I'm like pretty sore today from golf, which is its own fucking, again, we might get into that. I played fucking golf for 5 hours straight, dude. Poorly at that. I played like an advanced 18-hole course, which took like 5.5 fucking hours of me poorly hitting a club, mostly into the ground as hard as I can. And I have most likely injured myself. I don't know. But my back hurts, dude. My shoulder hurts. Things hurt on me. And I was like, you know what?
How's your prod, dude?
Not as far as golf's concerned, not great, dude. I fucking did super bad. But it's not like I'm well versed in this. I've never been coached on this, so like I don't feel that bad, I guess. Whatever. Right. But it was still just like not fun. It was just not fun. Yeah. Like I went to have fun with like a friend of mine, and kind of had fun, but ended up not having that much fun. Right. Just because it was like too much. It was just too much of that thing. But anyway, so I'm feeling down about myself. I'm sore. The fucking we've been house hunting. That's going poorly as well.
What? I thought you guys had like an inspection recently.
Another twist happened, dude.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, dude.
I know.
Fucking stresses me out, and I'm not even looking for a house.
another dude. It's kind of at the point of like, of course, something else wild happens during this process.
Yeah.
But anyway, I go to bed real early last night because I'm real tired because I was real drunk the night before that night, and then I went golfing. I'm real exhausted. Went to bed real early. Woke up real early this morning.
Naturally.
Turn on my PlayStation. New Assassin's Creed sitting right there, dude.
Fuck yeah.
New Assassin's Creed sitting right there. And I hover over it for a bit. And I'm like, do I want to commit the next 50 hours of my life to playing a game that I know I'll never be able to 100% unless I want to put 1,000 hours of my life into it?
Right.
And I went,
Yep, I do.
Purchase.
I do want to do that. Yes, I do. I do want to put my life into this game. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
I even warned Janie about it, dude. I was like, "Hi, I bought it," and like, thankfully she knows at this point, and like she's like, I understand what's happening here, before I have to say it, she's like talking to me, and she'll like walk out of her office and like ask me a question while I'm playing, and there's like a 20-second delay before I actually hear what she said. And then respond. And maybe 20 seconds is long. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but there's a delay for sure. Right. Like it doesn't filter through the game. I'm thinking about the game, and my frontal cortex is loaded with fucking. Can I get to that next waypoint? Like, am I gonna encounter any enemies on the way? Okay, if I do, I'll fucking assassinate this guy. Fucking. All right, this guy. Okay, how do I do this one? How do I do this situation here? I think what I'm gonna do is, and then I go, oh no, honey, I'm good. I don't need any more water. Thank you. I love you. And she's like, I asked you that 25 seconds ago, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Shit. But thankfully, this isn't the first rodeo.
No.
And she knows how it goes. And so now my cat wants back in. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
makes me so mad. But needless to say, I'm playing Assassin's Creed again. The new one, Mirage. It's like it follows a dude in he's like a previous character from one of the other games, but it's like his own story in Baghdad.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Kind of like kind of going from like the military perspective earlier, and that like we were kind of raised to believe that like people from the Middle East are the enemy in a way. And like I've definitely encountered a bit of that while I've played the game. Even like there's a bit of like something in me that's like, oh, I don't know. Like there's like points of the game where they speak in like whatever it is. I think it's Farsi is the language, and I go, oh, okay. I wonder if any Marines have walked around this area of the map and kicked down any doors that I'm in right now.
Yeah. What's interesting?
So that's weird.
You know what's interesting about that attitude that like we've kind of been raised, and you're right, we have been kind of raised to believe that like the people from the Middle East are like the enemy somehow, right? Even like people that have been stationed and deployed to Iraq and Kuwait will tell you about how they were fucking just sketched out because people will just walk out of their houses with guns, whether it's for them to protect themselves or them to attack American soldiers or whatever. It was just fucking a really sketchy time. But let me ask you this.
That's what I would do too.
Yeah. How would you feel
if my country was being occupied by a foreign force? I'd be strapped, dude. Son.
If Iran's like, hey, we're just gonna put a bunch of troops in fucking Colorado, right? We're not gonna take anything of yours, but we might break down some doors because we're looking for some suspected terrorists that we got some intel around here, military intel. We're not gonna tell you how we got it, just that we have it. Okay, we heard they were at your house. What? They're just coming to your door in the middle of the night, busting it down, looking for this dude that you've never even fucking heard of. How would you feel?
I wouldn't feel good about that.
No,
I just had a thought, and maybe this is like an elitist thought, but I think it has some juice.
Mm-hmm.
What if we all spoke the same fucking language?
Mate, you get the fuck out of here with your fucking universal language bullshit.
I'm not saying it has to be English, dude.
Do you want to fucking create a new world order? Is that what you want to do? A new world order, one that makes everything really good and perfect all from the get-go. We've got all the same ideas because we all speak the same language. One currency, one big bank, one language.
Yes. Yes, and yes.
We'll just make everybody androgynous too. We'll just take gender out of the equation. Right? Everybody's male,
dude.
everybody's female, dude.
You're
Perfect.
nailing it.
Yeah.
You're really nailing the new world order that I have envisioned.
Yeah, I know.
But
It's
think
disgusting.
about it, dude.
Okay.
If how much is a language barrier to culture? You know, how much is a language barrier to, you know, like the wars in the Middle East, right? Like, we're kind of just dependent on whatever the fuck the news or the government tells us about these people, as be able to be like, hey, let me read and get and speak to you and get your opinion on things.
Yeah.
That's what's kind of interesting about, well, I mean, not even super so with like the, yeah, what do you guys say?
You want to finish? You want to finish your thought? You can, because I don't mind waiting. But I'm just gonna fucking toss this whole shit upside down.
I think that if we all spoke the same language, there might be less like confusion and warfare.
Right.
Maybe.
Okay. I don't necessarily disagree with you. Okay, I don't. I think if we all spoke similar languages or the same language, it'd be easier to communicate with each other. That's a given. Okay. But the only reason we have to rely on the news is because as Americans, we're not going out and learning fucking Farsi or French or German. But you know what these other countries have done? They also speak English. So they can know what the fuck is going on around the rest of the world.
Okay, so English is winning. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying, dude. I'm
that
saying
we
that
all learn
Americans
English.
gotta actually fucking put some fucking value in learning other languages. Right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't want to work for it. I don't want to work for it. I want everybody else to work so that it's easier for me to understand. Okay, that's what
No. Dude, I'm not saying we do this in one generation, son.
Okay.
I'm just saying before we make the fucking interstellar leap to the rest of the universe and you know the grander at large, we should probably all fucking talk the same language.
Right.
So we're all on the same team. We're all on the same page about what's going on. You know, governments can't bullshit us anymore because they're like, wait, what are they saying about us? Oh, they're saying we suck? Okay, fuck them. And we're like, oh, what are they saying about us? Oh, they're saying fuck us? Why the fuck are they saying fuck us? Fuck them.
Yeah.
If we all speak the same language, we would know that like these governments are manipulating us.
Right, but part of the
on
reason,
a large scale.
Part of the reason that nobody speaks these other languages in the United States is because the government doesn't want us to be able to do so, because it's easier for them to say, hey, they're talking shit about us, let's go to war. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, you're probably right because we don't speak Farsi.
Well, we got to pick
then that takes us
Son.
right back to the fucking deep
We
state.
got to pick one.
Right, because those motherfuckers
And
don't
I'm just
care.
saying.
They don't want us to speak the same language. They don't want us to.
English is winning.
Well, I mean,
so I think
kind of, but you know what? Latin was winning hundreds of years ago, and that's a dead language now.
well, yes, because that's his English killed it, dude. So I think starting now, we only teach English.
Okay, only English, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
And that way, in like a few generations from now, we'll all be on the same page, dude. We all know the same language.
Okay.
That might erase some people's culture and identity. I get that. But in the name of progress, we march on.
I've got an option that's better than that.
Okay, let's hear it.
I've got an option that doesn't erase anybody's culture or traditions or languages.
AI? Hell yeah.
No. I've got an option that takes away all of that. All right. Now, instead of
AI?
making everybody learn English, right? What if we make everybody in the world learn sign language? Right? So now everybody can communicate in whatever languages they speak in their own country, right?
Bro.
But everybody also knows how to speak sign language. So I can communicate with you. Can you communicate with me? Can you communicate with fucking Joe Schmo from fucking middle of India? Everybody can communicate via sign language.
sign language is gay.
Why?
You know it.
It's
Deep in
not
your
true.
bones.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck off, bro. It's gay. What the fuck ever, dude? Yeah, we're gonna make everybody learn the most complicated language in the world, known to man, because it's 14 different languages combined into one.
But
Let's
bro,
them
we
teach
can
everybody
talk,
English.
dude. People like talking, dude. I don't want to
Yeah.
move my hands when I talk. I don't want to fucking gibberish this shit.
Fucking get over it, dude.
Nah.
Some people got to make sacrifices, and it's not everybody else. All right, it's not everybody but you. Well, this is the
Could be.
hard-hitting reality. This is the hard-hitting reality of legitimate change, right? This is why it's so hard to actually get legitimate change in politics and the countries. Or
Nobody
even
wants to
local
learn
communities.
anything else.
Nobody
Right,
wants
dude?
to have to do anything else. They want
No,
every
dude, it's
single other
not-
person.
It's not that I want to preserve my culture. It's not anything like. I just don't want to learn any other
You're
shit.
lazy, dude. You don't want to
don't.
learn new shit, dude.
And that's the way we all feel, bro.
That's
we're
why we're not all
like
gonna
that.
fucking learn English. You know, we're not all gonna fuck.
You're
I
right.
do think it's interesting though the idea of like a universal language that will then project us into like the Galactic Federation of planets, where it's all these different. But then again, right? Do you
I think that's one of the
Galactic-
requirements.
Do you think the Galactic Federation speaks English?
No, but like they'll have like a way to translate everything. But like
Right.
I think one of like some of the requirements for Galactic Federation membership, right? Is does your entire species speak the same language? Okay, check in the box. Yeah. Did you figure out how to get to your own moon in I don't know, a day and back? Check in the box.
Dude, have we even been there once? Let me ask you this. All right. Just straight up. Okay. I'm not even going to ask you if the moon landing was real, right?
Okay.
If we could go there and survive coming back, all right, how come is it that we cannot do that now? Based off of
can.
just the... No, we can't. Because we can't get through the Van Halen radiation belt. Just that one thing.
the fuck is that, dude?
We cannot go through the Van Halen radiation belt, right? That is what's preventing us from going to the moon right now.
What is that?
It's a radiation belt. It's all the electromagnetic radiation that circulates the
bad.
planet that keeps the fucking sun rays from killing us all. Where you going to the toilet? Feel better?
Dude.
Hey, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that, dude. I had to pee pretty bad.
Yeah, no, that's all right, dude.
I'm sorry. You were saying about the Van Halen electric
The
belt?
van fucking whatever it's called radiation belt. Okay? Because there's a radiation belt around the Earth. It's a two donut shape, right? It's two donuts of radiation that go around the Earth, right? That prevent the Earth from being bombarded by radiation from the sun. Okay, it's like this electromagnetic belt that reflects the radiation back away from the planet, all right? And we cannot go through it. We cannot take a ship to the moon and then bring it back right now because that radiation belt destroys any hope of the fucking navigational instruments in that spaceship working, right? But we did it once. We've done it once, right? We went to the moon, we came back, right? We did it that one time, but we cannot do it anymore. We cannot figure out how to do it. We accidentally recorded over the footage from last time. We accidentally recorded over all the fucking data that like gave us the instruments and the ability to do that one time. We can't do it anymore. We haven't gone back since, and we're fucking not planning to go back anytime soon because they still have not figured out how to go through that radiation belt.
I don't think that's true. I think fuck that radiation belt, dude.
It
I
is
think we
true.
can get through that shit, dude.
Look it up.
Dude, the second we learn No, I'm not looking that. I'm not looking.
Pull
shit
it up right now, dude. I'm telling you, it exists. It's real. We cannot go through the radiation belt. We cannot do it. It doesn't work.
We're back to the essence of the podcast, dude. I've had 3 drinks of tequila now. I'm not looking shit up, dude. I'm talking wild out of my ass from here on out.
Okay.
You're fucking wrong. First of all, we can get
incorrect.
through that. We can get through that fucking
Incorrect.
belt easy peasy, bro.
No, we can't.
And we just need a bit more time and people to man the ships.
It's really a man
the ship issue.
We wouldn't need any more time if they hadn't recorded over the fucking data and footage and information from the last time we did it that once.
Do you think that the moon landing's fake?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying why.
It sounds like that's kind of like what you're saying.
If it's real, how come we haven't been able to replicate it again? Right?
We can.
That's basics, but we haven't. We haven't done it. We've been trying to. We haven't done it. Why? Why haven't we then? Why haven't we then?
It's fucking complicated.
Funding?
Dude. We got
funding.
We got
is that what it is?
Do you know how many billions we're working on?
Do you know how many billions of dollars has been fucking funneled into NASA just trying to go to the fucking moon, right? And if we have the ability to do so, right? And NASA's just like, we got other stuff going on, right? Why is it that fucking Elon Musk is focusing on fucking Mars, right? Why does he want to go to Mars so bad if he can already get to the moon? Why not just go to the moon? Why not be the first corporation to go to the moon?
I think I see what you're saying, dude. I think I see what you're saying here. Is that you're saying that the moon is fake?
Well, I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's natural. Okay? I'm not saying that it's not some fucking alien ship that was put there. I'm not saying that I believe that it's hollow based off of fucking repercussion tests they did when they actually had rovers on the moon. And I'm certainly not saying that the fucking soil tests that they must have done while they were there showed that the fucking surface rocks were older than the fucking rocks underneath the surface. I'm also not saying that I believe that the fucking craters, regardless of how big the object is that creates a wider crater, all go to about the same depth. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that there's stories from ancient Arcadia that talk about a time before the moon was there. I'm not saying that's real. But this is all stuff that we got to factor in, dude. This is all real shit, man. The evidence adds up. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying, if you've got a cookie that keeps getting stolen, and then you find a child that has crumbs all over his hands, it's probably the kid stealing the fucking cookie. Not guaranteed.
Or it's the Cookie Monster.
Maybe the Cookie Monster did it, dude.
I think that the moon is real, but I don't know. I've never been there.
I mean,
we've only ever seen it. I'm just relying on some shit people told me.
That's right.
I think that we've been to the moon, but I don't know. I'm just relying on some shit that people had told me.
Right, yeah.
And I go, that probably sounds right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. For some reason, I do feel pretty convinced that we went to the moon. And like not even like as like a rah America thing. I think it's just like
it's a rah human thing.
Maybe it is a rah human thing.
We did it. Humans did it.
Yeah,
we went
fucking humans went there, dude.
Went up there. We fucking went up to the moon. We walked around, bounced around.
Mm-hmm.
Had some weird footage of us fucking falling down and then being seemingly lifted up by wires, Fucking weird shit. Gravity's different on the moon.
See, man, I don't like your dismissive attitude to the moon landing. I think it's fair to be skeptical, but I think you're quoting some conspiracy theories, bro.
There are a lot of conspiracy theories out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you just said, there's a lot of conspiracy theories. People have other thoughts about how things could have been.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and you're right, dude. There's a lot of thoughts about how things might have actually not happened.
Right, there's heaps, dude. There's so many different options that could have happened that we don't even know. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about conspiracy theories. All right, while we're on the topic, we're drunk, we're hanging out, not got a lot going on the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something important here.
I mean, I do have some Assassin's Creed to play, but you're right.
Fucking, I think you can wait, dude. You know, if you said you were gonna go play some golf, okay, totally understand that.
Well, let's be sure, dude. I'm not fucking gonna play golf when we end this. 100% not gonna play golf. But Assassin's Creed might pop up on my to-do list.
Right. Okay, let's talk about conspiracy theories, just in general. All right.
Okay.
Do you know what a conspiracy is?
At its like base definition, is that what you mean?
Yeah. What's a conspiracy?
Off the top of my head, off the top of my drunk head, I would probably say that a conspiracy is a group of more than two people or two or more people that have an idea.
So a conspiracy, right, is when two or more people conspire or plot in the shadows, right, behind the scenes to accomplish a goal, right, that they don't want the rest of the people to know about. That's what a conspire is, right?
I'm pretty close, dude.
I'm conspiring to set my neighbor's lawns on fire. They're not going to know about it because I'm going to do it in the dead of night, and that's just what I'm going to do, right?
If it was only you that conspired to set your neighbor's lawn on fire, would that not be a conspiracy then?
I think it's still a conspiracy. You know,
I think it's just a plot, dude. I think it's just an asshole move.
Between a plot and a fucking conspiracy. Maybe you're right. Maybe it has to. Move, that's just a plot, dude. I'm just fucking Swiper from fucking Finding Nemo, or whatever the fucking. All right. Maybe that's just a plot. The thick plottings. Okay. You know. Yeah. But so like I conspire with my with Curly. We're gonna go set the fucking lawns on fire. That's a conspiracy, right? We're conspiring to do that. Okay. So all it is, right? Let's take Snowden for example, right? Remember what Snowden was famous for leaking all this. He was leaking all this information about how the NSA, the CIA, and the FBI were not just listening, but listening to every single conversation in the United States illegally, right? They were fucking digitally tapping phones, digitally tapping into people's fucking emails and stuff, all based under the guise of anti-terrorism stuff, right? But they conspired to do and hide that from the American people, not only by fucking just generally not talking about it, but then also trying to bury anybody that fucking leaked that information out, including Snowden, right?
Okay, where are you going with this, Megan?
Well, the whole moral of the story, right? And I'm kind of fucked up, so bear with me for a second. Okay.
Yeah.
People throw around the term conspiracy theorist as you just a fucking nutbag. You think the moon's fake. Well, I'm not saying the moon's fake. I'm saying that the story that we have about the moon probably isn't what they've told us about the moon, because the story that those same people have given to us about every single other thing has been either lied, manipulated, or fucking malinformed about.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, some shit's off, for sure.
Some shit's fucking off, dude. Just look at fucking, Iraq war. When we went back to fucking Iraq after, 9/11, right? Some shit was fucking off there, dude. Let's talk about the fucking omnibus bill with fucking all the trillions of dollars that they put into fucking federal spending and shit. Do you know much about it? I don't know much about it. In fact,
they were anything about it.
No, because it was fucking a 1,000-page document that people were expected to read in like 2 days. Right?
Do you feel that? Two-part question. Do you feel that being labeled a conspiracy theorist is a bad thing?
Okay.
And do you feel that you are in the general zeitgeist, would you consider yourself a conspiracy theorist?
I think that people throw conspiracy theorist, like that term, around in a negative way. Because in their minds, they truly believe it's a bad, negative thing. All right? I also believe that some people take it way too far. Some people just buy into this fucking psyop that is conspiracy theories in general, right? Because it's easy to get people riled up. It's easy to send them on wild goose chases that, in turn, fucking take you away from the actual issue at hand, right? A good example of that is like the flat Earth movement. All right, and this is gonna fucking seem like a weird caveat, but the flat Earth movement, right, fucking exploded over the last 10 years. Just absolutely exploded, and it's dumb. It is so dumb. It's like the whole idea of it is just dumb as fuck, right? But the genius of it.
I want to push back on that.
Okay, go ahead. Push back. Let's see it. Let's hear.
No. I want you to continue answering the question.
Okay, so the idea behind the flat Earth theory, right, is that not just the military, but NASA and the governments and like all the governments around the world have been lying to the people about the shape of the planet. Okay, they've been lying to us all about physics, about gravity, about fucking electromagnetism, about the sun, about the shape of the universe, and all these things, right? That's the whole thing, right? But it's such a ridiculous concept that one planet would be flat while the rest of them that we're physically viewing all the fucking time with telescopes and shit are not flat, okay? It's just like this weird, like, you know, Earth is special. At least this is my view about it. Like, Earth is special, we're flat, everything else is spherical. Like, and it's just weird that we do that, and it's all a lie, right? So those people are fucking, people think of it as like ludicrous. The idea that you believe in that is ludicrous, right? Mm-hmm. But that thing is so ludicrous that you fucking miss the little shrapnels of fucking truth behind it. All right? The idea that the government could be lying about that, that's crazy. Like, that they would even be able to pull off that fucking kind of lie, right? Like, how would you even pull off the fact that the planet's flat? Okay? Well, how would you pull off the lies about the Middle East, going back to the Middle East, going back to war? How would you pull off the lies about WMDs in Iraq and Kuwait? Right? The government does lie. It lies all the fucking time. It keeps the truth from its citizens, right? But if you can manage to convince a large group of your populace that these people are fucking insane because they believe the government lies, then it starts taking all these other lies that the government says and making these people that believe that stupid, right? So you're taking an entire group of people, conspiracy theorists, right? People that theorize about the conspiracies that are happening in the government, right? Every single one of those persons is a fucking psycho now because you automatically associate them with people that believe in flat Earth.
I think that maybe was the case for a bit, and then COVID happened, dude. And then people realized that, like, oh fuck, like people that were like, you're a conspiracy theorist, like, you're fucking stupid, like, the Earth's not fucking flat, you fucking idiot. We went to the moon. Fuck you, dude.
What a retard, dude.
You fucking tard. Ugh. And then they realized that they got directly lied to by the government for the COVID vaccine shit.
Multiple times.
And they're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What else was I wrong about?
Well, that's right. That's what happens. That's what opens up, is that now there's all this other stuff that, like, you kind of start questioning, right?
Well, but the problem is that there's a lot of nonsense still.
100%.
By definition of conspiracy, almost everything is a fucking conspiracy.
Right.
And there's a lot of fucking nonsense. But there's also some pretty fucking legit shit that, like, the the news, the government, you know, and the like the tech companies are you're like, oh shit, let's not talk about that. Is a thing.
Yeah.
You know, at least at one point or another, that constitutes a conspiracy that is accurate, that is the truth. And I think that like emboldens a lot of people that are like, I fucking know it. Or like, I fucking knew it. And then they falsely assume that, okay, if that one's true, then they're probably all fucking true. Like, I think there's that as well, which is a problem. But also just human beings lie to each other, dude.
Yeah.
Is, I think, a fundamental truth. Like, we all lie to each other.
Fuck. We do all the time. We do lie to each other all the time.
And then we're all trying to figure out if we're being fucking lied to. Because we know. Because we know that we lie to people. Yeah. And we know that fucking groups of people get together and lie to people. And am I fucking being lied to? I don't fucking think so.
You don't think so, but what do you do when you find out that you are?
I know. Well, then I'm fucking pissed off. And then I'm
pissed off. That's
and
right.
I'm like, is the fucking moon real? Tell me.
Is it, dude?
Is the fucking moon real?
You got to look at how the Soviet Union dealt with them running their politics to understand kind of how conspiracy theorists and the way they're viewed in American politics operates now, right? So in the Soviet Union, they had all these different groups that were trying to organize against the Soviet Union, right? The Communist Party of the Soviet Union. You had all these different groups that were like rebel groups, financial groups, economic groups, political groups, all these different groups, right? And instead of trying to dissolve those groups, they welcomed them, right? Because the more small groups you have that are fighting for their own individual things, the less large groups you have formed from those. All right. And that was the technique that the Soviet Union used in Russia, right? Was to, instead of like trying to get rid of these little political groups that are rising up against their party, they would help create new ones to fight against those. They would send people into those groups to direct them against other smaller groups, as opposed to like, you know. And I mean, this is
a good idea.
It's a great idea politically, like from like a demographic point of view. Yeah,
I mean, if you're trying to create chaos, kind of thing,
right?
Mike and I fear that we're beginning to make less and less sense as the tequila grapples our minds. But that's all to say that I love you. And I think you have a beautiful mind.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love you, dude. And I think you also have a beautiful mind.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. You want to do a brooch?
Yeah, let's wrap this baddie up.
Yeah. Main takeaways, everybody, today is treat each other with respect, and we all suck. And the government sucks. And
English is a good idea.
English or sign language. You guys vote. Let us know. All right. I love you.
I love you.